Hey guys, how you going today? Hope you're all having a lovely day. For today's video, we're continuing on with the Makeup of Only One Color challenge, and today's challenge is the color purple. So I have some beautiful swatches here of some of the products that I've used today. So I have 3 eyeshadows here that I'm actually wearing and one of the lip products that I've got on. So if you'd like to see how I created this look, it is more of a bit of a, I want to say butterfly fairy look. You'll find out about what that is later. So if you want to see how I made this look, keep watching. Okay, so I've scooched you in a little bit closer to, be able to get a really good look at what's going on here. Today I'll be using a combination of my Revolution Big Big Love palette and the original Jaclyn Hill palette, mainly because I don't really have enough purples over one palette just to do it from there. So I know last time I did majority of my orange look from this palette, and the same with my pink look as well. There are quite a few purpley tones in here, but they're all not quite enough. So there's quite a lot of light ones, one dark one here, there's a purple here, a little bit of a purple shimmer here. This one down here, when I swatch it, it is more of a browny one, and this one is actually quite pink when I swatch it as well. So I'll be using a combination of a couple of those different ones and the purple from the Jaclyn Hill, just to offset that one a little bit. Just gonna get rid of that because it's always in the way. So first I'll just be going in with my brush that I usually just use pretty much for all over, and I'm gonna pop into this matte purple here just to get started. I'll bring my mirror in and let's just lay it down all over the lid. Okay, perfect. You can see that that one application has pretty much laid down everything that I need for the base and the transition shade. Now I would never, knocking everything over again like I usually do. I would never usually go in just with one color so dark like that unless I'd had a lot of use out of the shades and I knew how it was going to perform. This shade I have used before. It's pretty much like every Revolution matte that there is. It's pretty predictable. They are fairly pigmented, but they do blend out really well. It does look like it is slightly patchy just up in here and down in here as well, but that's just because I haven't spread it down along the lash line here. And it is also the lighting behind me and, well, behind the camera and shadows as well. The dark section here is, once again, that lovely little vein that I do have. You can see I have one right here on this eye as well. Always tends to just make it look dark there. So I'm just going to go back in and keep blending that one out a little bit. Now, I wouldn't exactly call this one a purple shade, but it's more of a like purpley based nude. It kind of does have a little tiny bit of pink in it, but majority of purple shades do. It's either going to be blue based or red based purple. So let's, I don't know why I have foundation on my eyelids. So I have already foundationed today as well. I just thought I would speed it up a little bit. I haven't powdered any of my face, and I don't have any concealer on yet, just because I knew that with the concealer I'd need to powder it right away, but I do have a cream highlighter to use today as well. So I'm just going to go in and deepen that one up a little bit there. I always find that the first eye tends to look a lot darker than the second. Does anyone else have that problem? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just... because I always tend to do my right eye first. Maybe it's the lighting. I'm not sure. So just nice light sweeping motions all the way across. Sorry, I'm looking down right here because this is just my, big mirror that I have down here. Absolutely love this. I paid like $12 for it, something like that. It's brilliant. Eyelash. Okay, great. So once again, I am not going to go into anything too extravagant, too out there. Same as majority of my other looks. It's the kind of look that I would wear, when I want a little bit more than just going to work, but I'm not going out clubbing. It might just be, a nice weekend look or a nice party look. Okay, I'll continue with the dark ones. So next I'm going to go into my Jaclyn Hill palette here, just with that one there. I'm only going to use a couple of shadows today. If you've watched any of my past videos, you'll know I'm not the kind of person that goes in with 7 different eyeshadows. I'm usually between 2, 3, maybe 4. I think lately I've been going 4, sometimes possibly 5, but even then that's pushing it a little. Don't mind that something just fell over in the next room. So I'm just going to pop this one here in the outer corner there. And just spread it around a little bit. I do love that shade. It is really pigmented, and you'll find that it does tend to blend out fairly easily though. But I don't want it to be too dark, just in that one section. I just want to blend it out. Blendy, blendy, blendy. So I don't know if you can see in the lighting there, it looks really dark right across there, but that is actually just the lighting. So I'm just going to hold my eyelashes there just so it doesn't move my eyelid around too much with the brush. But as I move my head from side to side, you can see it is evenly blended. It's just the camera's just not picking it up. Certain shades my camera is fine with, but other shades it just doesn't like to pick up. I think I have probably gone slightly a little bit dark there, but I'm going to go back in with that first shade and re-blend those colours in there. I just want to at least lay some of this purple down. Wow, that went on a little bit patchy. And of course, my mirror is opposite to my camera, so that side in the camera looks great. Oh, you can see it there now. It's really patchy underneath there. So, blendy, blendy, blendy. I don't know why, but whenever I think of the word, blend it out, just blend it out, I always think of the movie Happy Gilmore, just tap it in, give it a little tappy. And I always seem to think of that when I'm blending. I don't know why. It was always a favourite movie of mine when I was a kid too. Loved it. And naturally, that is looking way too dark, as it always tends to do, until I go back in and lighten it up a little bit. Whoops, sorry. I opened my palette and it's just pushed the tripod and the stand back a little bit. So I'm just going to go back in with the original matte shade. Just blend it in up the top and around the side there. Now I know I do tend to always get a little bit overexcited and extend out way too far out there. So just being really careful not to do that today. It's always really difficult when I do that when I've got purple or blue eyeshadow, because I tend to end up looking like I've got a little bit of a black eye. So I'm just gonna pop that on there. Okay, I'm going to go in with one of my little smudgy brushes here and just go underneath with that colour as well. I'm hoping you guys can see that. I think it's just a really funny angle when I tend to look down with the mirror right to the side. When I've got it right in front of me, all you can really see is just my forehead and you can't see anything else. This eye will probably be a little bit trickier for you to see. And I've gone a little bit too much here, so I'm just going to grab a little cotton bud and just tidy it up underneath. So even though I have foundation, I mentioned I hadn't concealed, I also didn't pop my foundation all the way up here. I kind of only applied it to that inner circle there, just so that if something like this happened, which I knew it would, I always generally need to clean up with a cotton bud afterwards. When that happens, it does tend to move the foundation. It always does. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my skin. Maybe just crap at makeup on myself. Who knows? I'm not sure if maybe that's just looking a little bit too dark there again, but should be right. So I've just cleaned off the smudge brush just on one of my makeup erasers, just to make sure that none of that base colour was left on there. And I'm going to go back into my Jaclyn Hill palette and just get it on the tiniest little bit of an edge. Now I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any of the base colour on there, because if I happen to, I'm trying to kind of press it like that against my lash line, but if I happen to press it like that and smudge it too far, you can see that instead of getting a very precise line there, it's smudged out quite a bit. And if there was any of that first colour left on the brush, it would have smudged it down too far for my eyes, even though I look really funny at the moment and I look like I'm either sick, becoming a vampire, or have been punched in the face. So let's just pop that right on the lash line, and I think I got some of that on my eyeball there. Gross. And I only want to apply it just to the very, very outer corner. So if I look straight ahead in the camera, I don't even want to extend that colour right into where my iris is. I just want to keep it all the way over to where the white of my eye is. That'll do. If I keep going, I'm going to keep smudging and smudging and smudging until there is no blank canvas left. I'm just all eyeshadow everywhere. Which one now? Okay, I think I'm going to go with this shimmer in the middle here. I was originally thinking this one, but I think it's a little bit too pink. I think you can see the difference there, that this one's just a little bit more, you know, of a mauvey kind of colour. Where are we? Just going in with even though this is considered to be a crease brush, it's, you know, a little bit flat. It's fairly flat there in the centre, and it is a little bit shaped. It's meant to be a crease brush, pretty much just a smaller version of this one that I do use, but I find it's really good because having that precise angle there, I can get it right in there, just at the perfect angle. So I'm just going to load up just one side of the brush at the moment. It's a bit odd because the way that this brush is designed, I'm actually holding it upside down, but you know, you do what works for you. It would actually be really perfect for a cut crease brush as well. We just want to keep blending all the way across, blending that up into the socket and across there. Okay, much better. I'm just going to go in, same brush, turn it over the other direction. And this is where shit gets complicated. I have to turn my arm around the other direction as well. And basically do the same thing but with the opposite eye. Okay, good. Sorry, I just got my nose there with the brush and wanted to make sure I didn't have purple on it. Okay, great. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's about as blended as it's going to get. Let me just check and make sure I don't have... What colour is that? Sorry, I'm just looking at the mirror behind the phone, and I do have a little bit of, it's like a whitish colour, but it does have a tiny little bit of purple undertone to it. So I'm just going to grab my usual inner corner highlight brush, just go in and pop that right there, just to really open up the eyes. Awesome. My liner. Shut the palettes and get them out of the way. I'm just going to go in with my normal pencil liner. You can go in with any kind that you like, but I'm just going to tight line that a little bit. Now, because this is a little bit more of a brighter look than I would normally go for, you know, me based on all of majority of my other videos, I'm more of a neutrally kind of girl, maybe some pinks every now and there. I usually try and blend the purples in with those. So this is a bit more of a butterfly fairy kind of look. I know I know a few people that, you know, they're into these kinds of colours, and whenever I think of them, I think of butterflies and fairies. So to me, purple I always associate with butterflies and fairies. Going to scooch the camera back out a little bit and move on to the next thing. So conceal now or in a minute? I'm going to conceal now and then pop some highlight on. I'm just going to pop a tiny little bit of that there. I really should have done underneath my eyes after I'd done this, but oops, everyone makes mistakes. It's just makeup. I'm just popping it there underneath where I had put the under eye, you know, colours, just to brighten it a little bit. Even where I've put that inner corner highlighter there, like you can tell it's not too much of a drastic difference. I'll just go in and brighten that up a little bit. Wow, that looks really bad. It looks like I still have concealer there, but I don't. You can see I have blended it in, but just sitting back at this angle, it looks like I haven't. I might need to pop a little bit more, just slightly lower down right here. Wow, that looks terrible on camera. I am making all kinds of mistakes today, just can't get it together. Maybe it's just the lighting. No, that still looks really bad. Maybe my bags are just particularly big today. So I'm gonna lean in a little bit. You can see there, I have blended my concealer in. It just looks like I have it in the camera. I don't know what's going on today. I am having just one of those days. So I'm gonna grab, where'd my little brush go there? Here we go. I'm gonna just grab the brush that I did my inner corner highlight. It still has enough, you know, little product on it there. Just re-brighten that. And I'm gonna go into my Freedom Pro highlight palette. This is pretty much the only purpley highlighter I have. Out of all of the highlighters I have, I could have 100 and I probably wouldn't have that many variances in the shades. So you can see based on this one, it looks really light and white when I hold it up like that. But whoa, turn that down and you can see it does have a bit of a violet kind of undertone. Man, I'm having all sorts of issues today. Camera, lighting, everything. It's just not agreeing. So you can see there, when I hold it like that, it does have the violet-y purple undertone, but it is very striking and very highlighting. I'm hoping that this is going to work, considering how dark that looks against my hand there when it's held away from the light. I'm hoping it's not going to be too dark for my skin. So, and I really don't like cream highlighters. They just don't agree with me. Where's my mirror? Doesn't help that I'm just looking in the camera to see what's going on. Wow, that is terrible. Okay, that is going to have to do because I've already spent way too long filming at the moment. It's not too bad, but like it's not my favorite. So I'm just going to go in with my Mary Kay translucent powder and set it. I think this was the brush that I was using yesterday. Just set under there. Just generally set all over. I'm going to run it on top of that highlighter as well, because I can guarantee, there we go, it actually looks a little bit better now that it's been toned down a little bit. But I can guarantee the second I lean on anything or touch my face, it's going everywhere. Okay, where's my blush brush? All my good brushes are hiding from me recently. They mustn't want to be used. Here we go. So I'm going in with my Flower Beauty Flower Pot in Sweet Pea. This is pretty much the only purpley shaded blush that I own. It does look a little bit pink. So I'm just going to swatch it there. You can see, wow. Man, I'm shocking today. Swatches are terrible. Everything's coming off terrible. You can see there, it's not necessarily too pinky, but it does have that little bit of a purple undertone in it. This one a little bit there. Now, obviously, I don't have any purple-based bronzers or contours, so once again, it looks like we're going without bronzer and contour. I think if I do like a video with all browns, it's going to be a really good one, and although it's going to be really difficult for me to find a brown-based highlighter, I don't think I have one, but if I do, it will probably end up being way too dark for my skin. I think I possibly have one that I had set aside to give someone, but well. Oh, mascara. Can't forget mascara. Obviously, it's not purple based, but you know, when is it likely that we will ever have regular use out of 100 different colors of mascara? I know that Colourpop do have quite a lot, and I would be really interested to try some of their different colored mascaras. So, you know, maybe one day. But at the moment, I'm content just with my, you know, one mascara in the drawer at a time. It's all good. It's wasteful to have any more than that, you know, I'm not really using on a regular basis, and you really should replace your mascara every 3 to 6 months anyway. So for me, I don't wear makeup often enough, and I don't wear mascara in other colours often enough to have generally more than one on the go, unless one is absolutely terrible and I'm getting rid of it right away. Next, I'm moving on to the only purple lipstick I actually own. I thought I had more. I'm pretty sure I got rid of them all last year because I just don't wear them, and the only reason this one stuck around is because it was fairly new, and I thought, bugger it, I only got this lipstick last week, I'm not throwing it out. And it is the I Heart Revolution Unique Unicorns lipstick in Fantasy Realm. You can see there in the base it does look pink in there, but when you hold it up here, it is purple. So I think it's more of a pink and purple, you know, metallic duochrome shift. So, oh, too far up. And I don't tend to wear this one too often because it is basically just like wearing straight glitter, and you end up looking a little bit scary. But it is fairly nice. I'll do a quick swatch on the hand. You can see it looks quite pink there, but when you hold it away, you know, different lights, it does shine purple. On top of that, I am going to go in with a little bit of a deeper purpley gloss, and this is the Revolution Sheer Lip Gloss in, is it Rosé? I think it is. The lipsticks for these, the matte ones, always seem really different to the glosses. I do have quite a few of these glosses. I think I've got about 5 or 6 of the different shades, and I quite like them. And I wouldn't mind getting a few of the matte lipsticks, because when I look at the lip glosses that I have, there are 4 of them that are so similar that it's not until you swatch them or you look at, you know, the lids on them that you can see the undertones. One's more of a pink, one's more of a nude, one's more of an orange. So I'm just going to pop this one over the top just to take away a little bit of that glitter. So this is still a fairly shiny colour. Obviously it is a gloss, but you know, there we go. It's the most kind of purple combination that I do have. So there we have it. That is my, you know, full face using purple. It's not, I know the lips a little bit darker than I would have thought. Maybe I've just put a little bit too much of that gloss on then, but you know, it's pretty much the only purples that I do own out of anything. So, you know, happy to keep going on with, you know, a few more of these videos. I've, you know, already done 2 at the moment. I've got probably another 2 planned at least. I was going through my drawers earlier and thinking, oh, maybe I could do one with, you know, all plum colours or, you know, all this kind of colours. So I think I'll just have to wait and see how things go. You know, if you have any thoughts, any comments, any suggestions, please feel free to comment down below. But until then, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.